Hi everybody, this is Cody Wolf. I am the SLA here in Idaho. As you can see, I am a cancer researcher. I'm a graduate student at Boise State University, and I'm so happy to be here to talk to you guys about Lights of Hope. It's such a meaningful event for me as a volunteer for ACS CAN, and I know it means so much to you guys. And you guys have worked really hard to make this event so great, especially during the troubling times we're in. Lights of Hope is an amazing way to remember those who we've lost to cancer and those who are currently fighting. And it just inspires me to come in and do my job even better. And to see all the volunteers who work so hard really warms my heart and makes me so happy to be a part of such a great group. So thank you so much. I'm so excited to see all the displays you guys have at home. And I hope you have a great time talking with family, friends, and neighbors.
Hola, bienvenidos to Lights of Hope across America. I'm Desiree Behringer-Carton, and I'll be your host for today's fabulous event. Es un placer estar con ustedes esta noche. Over the next 60 minutes, we'll be taking you live to Lights of Hope displays at some of our nation's most famous landmarks, showing off some of the beautiful displays that volunteers have set up at their homes. As you can see, I've set up my own Lights of Hope right here in my kitchen in New Jersey. Today, we will also be sharing some truly touching and moving cancer stories. Through it all, we'll be honoring cancer survivors, remembering those loved ones we've lost, and of course, providing you with plenty of opportunities to make sure your members of Congress hear our message loud and clear that fighting cancer must be a national priority. So let's get started by going live to the National Mall in Washington, D.C., and ACS CAN President Lisa Lacasse. Hi, Lisa. How are you? I'm just so excited. I can't believe it's our 10th anniversary, and I just found out we've raised $700,000 between donations, fundraising, our generous sponsors, and we have more than 48,000 lights.
Hi, Desiree. It is so great to see you and to welcome everyone to this live stream. As you can see, I'm in Washington, D.C. at the iconic location of the Lincoln Memorial. The National Mall has been home to ACS CAN's annual Lights of Hope event for the last 10 years. So I wish everyone could be here with me again this year. I'm very proud to represent us all in this incredible spot. For those of you who may be watching and don't know, ACS CAN is the advocacy affiliate of the American Cancer Society. And that means that we empower hundreds of thousands of volunteers just like you all across the country to engage with our elected officials in order to have them join us in the fight against cancer. It's a really exciting time.
It really is, Lisa. And I bet the volunteers are so happy to see some of the Lights of Hope that have made it to DC. So tell us a little bit about this year. I know it's been different, Lisa.
Needless to say, Desiree, it has been a year thus far of challenges, but I'm proud to say that our volunteers have not stopped, just like cancer hasn't stopped. They have been committed from the moment that we decided to have a virtual event to execute. And we are so proud that they have managed to turn the proverbial lemons into lemonade and make this event an incredible one across America today.
Yeah, it's really incredible. I mean, like you said, 2020 has certainly been challenging, but it's events like this that give us hope and remind us we are in this fight together. So I am just so excited to be joined by you and virtually by all the volunteers, our colleagues, our patients to celebrate Lights of Hope, right? You know, we're really bringing our fight against cancer from coast to coast.
We are, Desiree. It's our job to bring our fight to our lawmakers in Congress, and what better way to do it than through an event across the country. Let me tell you a little bit about my Lights of Hope. So, like so many that are likely watching and hundreds of millions of people across the country, everyone has a cancer story. Today, I want to show you my Lights of Hope, one of my Lights of Hope, which is my wonderful dad. He is 86 years young, and last year heard those terrifying words of, "You have cancer." I'm so proud to note that he, along with so many of my other family members, are survivors, and that's a lot of what this is all about today. We are honoring our survivors, memorializing those who have lost the fight, and really working to make sure that Congress and our elected officials nationwide are joining us in this incredible fight. Being a survivor makes us all work really hard to engage and make sure that we're doing everything we can to impact this disease and create a world free of cancer. I'm really looking forward to our program today, Desiree. I can't wait to see all the places that we're going to.
Me too. I know we're going coast to coast, and we're so happy to hear your dad is doing well, and happy 86th birthday to him. So that is incredible. And it's pretty incredible that last year we had 40,000 lights and now we have 48,000 lights across the country. So that's just so impactful. I know we said at the top of the show, but close to $700,000 has been raised through donations, fundraisers, generous sponsors. So it's just so incredible to all of our cancer advocates. So thank you. Gracias, gracias. Thank you so much. So we want all of you at home to be part of today's event as well. So if you set up your own Lights of Hope display, please share it with us on social media with the hashtag Lights of Hope. And it's not too late to dedicate a light of hope to someone you want to honor, just like Lisa did for her father. You can do that right now at fightcancer.org/lights. So once you do, you'll have the opportunity to print out the name and message embedded with our Lights of Hope design you've seen on the bags for display at your home as well. And post a personalized, share it on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Just, put a post there, personalize it, why Lights of Hope is so important to you. So from the East Coast to the West Coast, we are ready to visit a Lights of Hope display at another iconic American landmark. We are joined now by volunteer Bob Gordon, who is set up right across from the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco at a historic home. Hi there, Bob. I want to just say we are thinking of you and your community. I know with the devastating fires, it's been so hard out there, and we're thinking of all you guys. I know in typical San Francisco form, the fog rolled in, right? So you can't be right in front of the Golden Gate Bridge, but you still have quite a view.
That's right, Desiree. So sorry we can't bring you the bridge today because of the smoke, because of the fog, but that's San Francisco. But we're here in the historic Presidio, which is a wonderful part of our city. And before I forget, I just want to say how happy I am that we have so many wonderful volunteers, my friends, my ACS Can family in California, and everybody's doing such a great job. We're all trying to work together to fight cancer.
Well, Bob, we really appreciate it. I know it's been really hard with the winds and everything. So I know it's a little bit hard to hear you. We do really appreciate all that you've done. And I know you have some beautiful Lights of Hope display so much. And I know you had a colleague and a friend showcasing and doing some artistic work there, right there with you. So I know it's really tough. So we really appreciate all the beautiful work that you guys have done. I believe it was Lori who was so artistic and displayed so much there. So thank you so much for that. I'm sorry, in true live TV form, between weather and technology, it was hard to hear, but thank you, Bob and Lori, for all that you do in coming to us from California. So Lights of Hope is more than just honoring those impacted by cancer. It's also an important part of our work to make sure Congress makes fighting cancer a top priority. I think Donnamarie Woodson says it best.
Hi, my name is Donnamarie Woodson. When my husband lost his job, we lost our health insurance. Because of the Affordable Care Act, I was able to get insurance and was diagnosed with both colon and breast cancer. I'm a survivor today because of access to that care. I'm proud to be an advocate so I can help others and protect their health care as well. Lights of Hope is very, very special because its funding helps support our most important mission of protecting health care for cancer patients and survivors like myself.
For sharing your story, and we're so glad to hear you are celebrating survivorship. We know how important access to care is to cancer patients, and while cancer impacts everyone, it doesn't impact everyone equally. We are proud to partner with organizations like Delta Sigma Theta and the Links on our work to increase access to quality, affordable health care for those who need it. Dr. Kimberly Jeffries Leonard, National President of the Links and an ACS CAN board member, tells us why they get involved with Lights of Hope.
Greetings. I am so happy to be here with you all virtually to participate in the Lights of Hope across America. While we know cancer can affect everyone, it doesn't affect us all in the same way. As the national president of an organization for women of African descent, I am so very aware that African American women with cancer have higher death rates, despite them having a lower risk of cancer overall. As a Black woman, I and our more than 16,000 members understand personally the intersectionality of health disparities and the lack of health care in our communities. The Lynx is committed to sustaining the survival of people of African descent, and that means giving them a fighting chance against cancer. Partnering with the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, which we have done since 2015, allows us to do just that. The Lynx Incorporated has and continues to be committed to the fight against cancer. We continue to engage our members through trainings to help prevent outreach and education related to cancer prevention, detection, and regular screenings. The Lynx believe in this cause, and we are grateful to be a part of the 10th anniversary Lights of Hope special tribute today as we honor those who have been touched by cancer and those who we've lost. We will continue spreading hope across the country as Lynx light Lights of Hope.
Thank you so much, Dr. Leonard. We are so lucky to have such wonderful partners. And the Lynx has more than 7,000 Lights of Hope bags, so they give us hope. So thank you. I know that Jan Cooper in Las Vegas agrees that health equity is critical to our success to reduce suffering from cancer. Take a listen.
I found a home since beginning to volunteer with the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network in late 2019. I was looking for a source of information, a place of community, and something to spark my passion in my studies in health equity, and was even able to refine my dissertation topic, which focuses upon how communication can impact higher mortality rates in African American women diagnosed with cancer. I wasn't really sure how my Lights of Hope fundraiser might turn out, but as you can see, I am blown away by the support from friends and family who have helped me to raise $700 and shed light on others' cancer stories. My first year with American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, in a word, has been extraordinary.
Wow, Jan, thank you so much. How inspiring that Jan has done so much to support ACS CAN during such a tough year and while fighting cancer. Jan, you are extraordinary, and we thank you for all that you do. So we are seeing so many posts and tweets at home displays from across the country. Wanted to share some of those with you. Maureen says that the tropical storm winds in Florida may modify her display today, but nothing will dampen our resolve to fight cancer and bring hope home. That is right, Maureen. Carrie in Montana got an early start by doing a display lining the Montana Capitol lawn last night. Celebrating survivors, caregivers, and those lost to cancer. Lorenzo and Moises are two adorable junior cancer fighters out of California who are fighting their Papa Jimmy with their display. Thank you, guys. And what an amazing photo from McKesson Hospital in Texas featuring hope in their windows. All these are giving us so much hope and inspiration and great ideas. Kyle and Mandy from Ohio are sharing their Lights of Hope along a yellow brick road with some special guests from Oz. I love it. Amber's cat, how cute is this, in Massachusetts, is even joining in on the Lights of Hope display by taking a stroll through the display. So that's great. Natalie from Florida isn't letting the rain and wind ruin her plans. She moved her Lights of Hope indoors. So thank you. I did too. And is still shining a light on making cancer a priority. I'm happy to report that the smoke isn't dimming their Lights of Hope. We're sending all our love to California and all the West region folks out there, because I know with the devastating wildfire, so we're thinking of you guys. The Moffitt Cancer Center in Florida illuminated its Magnolia campus to honor their courageous cancer survivors, and it's pretty incredible. And Laura, again from California, has a stunning heart display of her bags on the beach with a beautiful view of the Santa Monica Pier. Keep them coming. We love seeing your displays. So post a picture or of your setup, or even just of your Lights of Hope using the hashtag Lights of Hope. So, and speaking of great displays, I think it's hard to beat the spectacular place this volunteer set up her Lights of Hope.
Welcome to Lights of Hope across America. I'm Martha Cox, and I'm the lead volunteer for Congressional District 2 in Colorado. And we are showing you a small representation of the Lights of Hope that people across Colorado are collecting. And we are coming to you from Morrison, Colorado, at beautiful Red Rocks Amphitheater. I'm a very, very fortunate 16-year survivor. And our Lights of Hope that we have here today include some very memorable people, especially our dear friend and long time ACS CAN volunteer, Mo Lukens, who passed from brain cancer about a year ago. And we have others in memory of those who have passed, and we have some, of course, in honor of a caregiver, of survivors, of people in treatment, including one of our local volunteers, Sabrina Wright-Hobart.
Wow, Martha, what a breathtaking view from Colorado. So thank you so much. And congrats on being a 16-year survivor. You are a reminder of why we do what we do. And we are thinking of Mo Lukens and so many others we've lost to this terrible disease, like my aunt and my father-in-law. Volunteers like Martha and all of you watching today are critical to ensuring the voices and needs of cancer patients and survivors that make sure they are heard loudly in the halls of Congress. And one of those members of Congress, Representative Colin Allred, is well aware of the power of our volunteers and represents an area that has truly taken Lights of Hope across America to heart. Tonight, buildings along the Dallas skyline and landmarks in Fort Worth will be lit up in honor of Lights of Hope. Dallas has even proclaimed today as American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network Lights of Hope Across America Day. Representative Allred has shared a short message with us. Take a look.
Hello, I'm Congressman Colin Allred from Texas. Thank you for joining the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network's Lights of Hope Across America. The fight to help those battling cancer and work toward a cure is deeply personal for me. My mom is a breast cancer survivor, so I know how hard this can be on a family. High costs, stress, uncertainty. That's why your work and the Lights of Hope Across America is so important. Cancer doesn't care which party you belong to, and this should never be a partisan issue. I've co-sponsored bills to expand access to diagnostic treatment for breast cancer, and I've fought to protect and expand healthcare access to those with pre-existing conditions like cancer so they can get the care that they need. We have so much work to do to beat cancer and ensure treatment is affordable and available for every American. I want to thank you again for all that you do and hope that you know that I am working and fighting right alongside you in Congress. Thanks again.
Thank you, Congressman Allred, for your motivating words. When it comes to Lights of Hope, there is no volunteer more enthusiastic than ACS CAN Board President and our friend, Sandy Cassesi. And this year's celebration wouldn't be complete without hearing a few words from Sandy from her home in Woodstock, New York. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, everybody. I'm coming to you from Woodstock, New York in the beautiful Hudson Valley. Like you, I really wish we were together in Washington, D.C., like we were in years past. But as you know, COVID-19 had other plans for all of us. That said, we threw every single challenge we could think of at you. And not only did you accept those challenges, you exceeded all expectations. I'm so incredibly proud of the work that we do together as volunteers and advocates. I truly believe that this year's celebration, unlike any we've ever done before, is our best ever. Congratulations and thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so much, Sandy. So many volunteers helped raise money through Lights of Hope this year. Let me start by sharing the names of our Grand Champions of Hope. These are volunteers who raised more than 1,000 through Lights of Hope this year. And we have more than 130 people who raised more than $1,000. So thank you. And of course, we know you're a competitive bunch. So I'm proud to share the names of our top 10 fundraisers this year who combined to raise $67,000 for the fight against cancer. And I don't know if you guys remember me saying at the top of the show, total, we've raised close to $700,000 through Lights of Hope, through your generous donations and generous sponsors. So thank you so much for fundraising. Thank you to each and every one of our volunteers who've raised money for Lights of Hope or dedicated the light of hope in honor of someone you know who has been impacted by cancer. now seems like a good time to take another look at what all you guys are posting using the hashtag Lights of Hope. So let's check it out. We have so many. Debbie in New York has taken Lights of Hope to the water at the marina, and Michelle is also in New York, actually out on the water with lights displayed on her boat. It's beautiful here today in the Northeast, so thank you. You all need to look at Super Grandma Joe and the joyful Hope for Joy display on her front porch in Ohio. So we love Super Grandma Joe. Thank you. And we have another furry friend joining in on the Lights of Hope. We love our pets. Cutie Kitty Jupiter is helping their human decorate Lights of Hope this evening. So we love that. Jason is displaying his bag from the rooftop. That's really cool. The weather in Chicago may have driven folks indoors, but that didn't stop Michelle from making a stunning display down her hallway that is glowing in dedication to those touched by cancer. All these are so beautiful and so creative, and I love seeing them. So keep sending them. Karen from Wilson, New York, even has Lights of Hope banner on display along with her front yard lights. So she's getting ready to shine a light on hope at dusk. So you guys give us hope, so continue to do that. Please post and use the hashtag Lights of Hope. We love seeing these beautiful and creative displays. Everyone's so artistic and everyone's coming together, even though we can't be together in person. So it is so hard to believe that this is our 10th year of Lights of Hope. We want to go back to ACS CAM President Lisa Lacasse, live from the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. And Lisa, we've been talking about it, 10 years of Lights of Hope. It's so moving and impactful. It's my favorite event. And I've been to about 5 of them. And I just can't believe it's been 10 years.
I'm with you, Desiree. It is almost impossible for me to believe this is the 10th anniversary. It is a true milestone. So we launched this event in 2011, and we were so proud because we were able to garner 1,200 lights that year. And it felt so amazing, and it was such a moment that we knew we wanted to turn it into an annual event. And so after that very first time, I'm so proud to note that every single year we have grown this event, and this year is no different. It's been so exciting to listen to the program.
Yeah, we've certainly made a lot of memories along the way, and it's just so incredible. And I know you want to take us down memory lane because you have some really great photos through the years. I just keep thinking you started at 1,200 and we're at 48,000. I can't wait to think about what we're going to do in the next 10 years.
I agree, 480,000, Desiree. So as a lot of people might remember who've been involved with us for a long time and have been with us since the beginning, 2013, we were on the other side of the mall at the Capitol Reflecting Pool, and that was the year that was the 100th anniversary of the American Cancer Society, so very special. In 2015, I actually believe we may have had the most memorable event at night, just on this side of an actual monsoon that was hitting Washington, D.C., but the rain didn't stop us, and it was just an amazing, amazing night. Last year, in 2019, we hit 40,000 bags surrounding the Lincoln Memorial. And now, as you just noted, we're going to hit close to 50,000 bags, $500,000 for our event this year from a fundraising standpoint. It's really exciting to think about all the memories that have been made and the ones that will be made in the future.
Oh, it's just incredible. That's a fun walk down memory lane. And I remember the monsoon, and nothing's going to stop us. Cancer advocates are passionate, dedicated. Weather will not stop us. So I love seeing those. And I know everyone watching does too. So thank you for sharing that, Lisa.
Good to see you again, Desiree.
All right, so don't go anywhere because we're coming back to you in a few more minutes. But right now, I want to introduce you to another one of our amazing volunteers. Many of our volunteers, including California's Ann Stengel, have been with us since the beginning of Lights of Hope. So let's watch her incredible story.
I am in a particular part of a garden. This particular part belongs to my mom. She's a volunteer. Her name is Ann Stengel, and here she is. Hi.
Hi.
Tell us why we're in front of your garden this afternoon.
We are bringing the Lights of Hope home this year, and this is my special garden. When my son Chris, at the age of 22, was diagnosed with cancer and died, my daughter planted his bike in my garden. And this is where I will be displaying my lights of hope in his honor.
Well, pretty cool daughter you have, must say.
I agree.
So, how long have you been doing this, Mom?
Actually, right from the beginning, and this is our 10-year anniversary.
10 years. Oh my gosh, I do remember those years. Well, what makes this particular fundraiser so passionate for you?
The funds from the Lights of Hope go towards cancer research. That is my passion. Had there been more research at the time, there would have been more options available to my son. We need our voices heard. We need our lawmakers to understand how important this research funding is so that fewer families will experience the loss that I have. Thank you for listening. I can't wait to see the special places where your lights of hope will be displayed.
Thank you so much, Anne, and to your beautiful daughter as well. What a special and unique display. This event is so wonderful and wouldn't be possible without our friends at Bristol Myers Squibb, who generously sponsor Lights of Hope. Their Chief Commercialization Officer, Chris Boerner, wanted to be sure we knew they weren't just a sponsor, but also a partner with us in the fight against cancer. And he joins us now with his own Lights of Hope display.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network on your 10-year anniversary. I'm honored to be with you tonight. The work that you are doing and the impact that you are making for vulnerable voices across the nation is truly remarkable. At Bristol Myers Squibb, we are inspired by a single vision of transforming patients' lives through science. We believe in the power of science to address some of the most challenging diseases of our time. I know many of you tonight are honoring those you've lost to cancer while others are celebrating those who have survived. We recognize the need to do more to help fight this terrible disease. Our focus to address these unmet needs comes during a remarkable time, and we must continue to prioritize research so that we can find the next breakthrough, the kind that transforms patients' lives and leads to many more celebrations. I know through continued research and scientific innovations, we can continue celebrating each time patients take back their lives.
Thank you so much again to Bristol Myers Squibb for their strong support of this event. We so appreciate it. As I mentioned earlier, advocacy, working with your elected officials at every level of government is critical to our work to one day end this terrible disease. As soon as we're done here today, I encourage you to visit the ACT section at fightcancer.org/lights and spend just a minute to make sure your members of Congress hear from you. One of those members of Congress is Congressman Walden from Oregon, is well aware of the power of our volunteers and shared a short message for us today.
Hello, I'm Congressman Greg Walden from Oregon, the former chairman of the Energy and Commerce Committee and now the ranking member. Like so many Americans and people around the world, my family's been touched by the loss and devastation of cancer. My mother died of ovarian cancer, my sister-in-law of brain cancer, and my father battled bladder cancer. Too many people have suffered too much for too long. That's why I've worked hard in the Congress to help pass 21st century cures, to provide new innovation and funding for innovation and research, to find cures to these terrible diseases, especially cancer. We've increased the funding for NIH. We've worked to get faster drug approvals through the FDA and medical device approvals as well, never sacrificing safety, just moving the bureaucratic roadblocks out of the way and incenting new innovation and research so we can get cures. So for those volunteers that are holding up candles, who are supporting Lights of Hope across America, in the darkness that families feel during the loss of a loved one to cancer, know that the light burns bright when it comes to those candles and the hope that they spread across our country. So thank you for what you're doing. Together, let's beat cancer.
Thank you so much, Congressman Walden. You're right. Those lights shine bright. And thank you for being a part of today's event. And just a reminder, we really do want you to take action following this show to ensure all of our lawmakers understand the importance of our work in a way that Congressman Walden just spoke of. You can go to the ACT section at fightcancer.org/lights to see 3 easy actions you can take. And each one just takes you 1 minute to complete. So let's head to a city many of us know and love. We're going to go right over the bridge from here. We are joining Elizabeth Carde in New York City. Hi there, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. You're really in the heart of the Big Apple. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Now I'm going to take the mask off just for a few minutes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I'm so happy to be here. And you know, New York is really alive, as you can probably hear.
Yes, I can see and hear, I'm just so happy that you are safe and healthy. We're so happy that you're here and talking to us. I know New York, I'm right here in New Jersey, right over the bridge. And, our areas really have been the epicenter for a while of the COVID-19 pandemic. And so we're so glad that you and your family are safe and healthy and that New York is, slowly coming back and it's vibrant and alive. How did you do all this and raise so much money during the pandemic for Lights of Hope?
I am so surprised myself that I was able to raise well over $1,000, almost $2,000 as of this morning. But I think that it's just persistence. I started this journey many years ago when my grandmother was diagnosed, and I watched her die from cancer, as a matter of fact. And so I've been in this war for about 50 years now. Yes.
Wow. I mean, that's incredible. And we're so sorry about your grandmother, but I know we've all been touched by cancer, but just seeing her pass away, and she's been your motivation to stay in this fight and to raise almost 2,000. That's really, really incredible. So we can't thank you enough. We just are so thankful that you've been a part of this.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to a world where cancer will no longer exist and nobody will have to hear those words. But Desiree, just as a reminder for those people tuning in, when my grandmother was diagnosed back in the 60s, research had not gotten to where it is now. So that I'm just continuing to press our local elected officials to make sure that there is adequate funding so that at some point there will be a world where no one has to hear you have cancer. And that's what the funding does. On another note, as part of the Lights of Hope piece, if you can see behind me, I brought down here to Times Square, New York, some of the badge Lights of Hope that recognize people that I know who died from cancer and or who still undergoing treatment, as is my friend sitting right next to me. A cancer survivor for over 20 years, a young cancer survivor.
Well, we're so glad your friend is a young cancer survivor of 20 years. So we're celebrating them and all the, the lights of hope that you displayed right there in the heart of the city. And you've said it best, Elizabeth. We cannot stop funding cancer research. Thank you so much for all that you do and being an advocate, because we need your voice. So thank you. And thank you for going to Times Square. I love seeing my favorite city coming back alive. And we're just so glad you and your family are safe during this pandemic. Thank you for all that you do, Elizabeth. Gracias.
And thank the American Cancer Society, staff and partners, for all that they do. Keep us safe and to further the initiative of funding and research, education, and treatment.
Thank you, Elizabeth. And thank you for bringing your beautiful display to Times Square in New York City. We so appreciate it. We give you virtual hugs, so thank you. Well, really, she said it all. Cancer doesn't stop during a pandemic, and cancer advocates, we need your voice. So thank you, Elizabeth, and all the cancer advocates out there and our volunteers. We have so many great stories to fit in. Before we bring you the next one, I wanted to take a look at another look at what you guys are posting using the hashtag Lights of Hope. Our social media is blowing up all over Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. So thank you so much. We have some wonderful folks from Hawaii. We're seeing breathtaking photos from beaches and backyards. An entire family even has their projector set up to watch Lights of Hope live. So aloha, Hawaii. Welcome. Thank you. Melissa is sharing that Arizona always has hope with a phenomenal canyon view. She says that determination created this Arizona wonder, and determination is what gets every cancer patient through their journey. I couldn't have said it better, Melissa. So thank you. And Arizona's so beautiful. And you're right, determination is what works. The Midwest states are quite active with their posts all over and showing beautiful and creative displays. We have volunteers fully representing Ohio and Pennsylvania with displays at Cameron Park and at the Capitol from ballparks and more. So thank you so much. We also have Daphne posted a moving photo from the fields of South Dakota. Gorgeous. All these are so moving and touching. And the lighted bags look different at home, but it means the same thing. Hashtag hope. You're right. So thank you so much for this. So impactful. So keep sending them in using the hashtag Lights of Hope. So here to tell us more about the important impact of Lights of Hope makes is the CEO of the American Cancer Society and the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, Gary Reedy.
I am honored to be joining you at this extraordinary event, the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network's 10th annual Lights of Hope ceremony. This year, while we are not together in person in Washington, D.C., we are bringing hope to our hometowns in a very special way. So much has changed this year, but one thing that has not changed is our commitment to our mission to save lives, celebrate lives, and lead the fight for a world without cancer. Now more than ever, ACS CAN's work to ensure cancer is a top priority for our elected officials and to ease the burden of the pandemic on cancer patients is so important. You, our volunteers, continue to bring hope to the over 1.8 million people who will be diagnosed with cancer this year and the over 16 million cancer survivors across the United States. The impact of COVID-19 on cancer patients and the future of cancer research has been substantial. We must ensure researchers and labs can restart their operations and that progress does not stop in the fight against cancer. We are calling on Congress to ensure funding is available to restart cancer research across the nation and sustain funding for the National Institutes of Health and the National Cancer Institute. A generation of research depends on what we do right now. Your work as volunteers is critical to ensure that everyone has a chance to survive this disease and that cancer patients don't slip through the cracks amid the pandemic. Events like Lights of Hope make this work possible. The tens of thousands of Lights of Hope being displayed in communities across the country today also send the message to lawmakers that cancer hasn't stopped and neither have we. Thank you for standing with the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network even when we are apart. We simply could not do our work without you. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting our life-saving mission.
Thank you so much, Gary. That advocacy connection is an essential component of Lights of Hope, and we can't do it without you. We need you now more than ever. Just as soon as we wrap up today, we invite you to visit the ACTS section at fightcancer.org/lights and take one or more of the actions promoted on the page. It's really easy. It'll take like a minute. Whether you send a message to your lawmakers, tweet your U.S. senators, or join our text messaging program, each action will take you less than a minute to complete. So please, we need you. We want to be sure that every member of Congress is seeing and hearing about what we're doing together today. Now it's time to head back out to another very recognizable spot. Let's go live to St. Louis, where volunteers Karen Mckay and Allison Johnson have just set up their Lights of Hope display right there in front of the Gateway to the West. Hi there, ladies. How are you, Karen and Allison? Nice to see you guys.
Hate to tell you, but we did our displays a little early. As you can see, the sun is not shining, and we're really lucky to be here today and just show a few of our lights of hope. And but we're glad that we were able to do it without being drenched, right, Allison? No rain.
Yes, listen, Mother Nature doesn't stop any of our volunteers, so we appreciate it. So it looks fantastic. So talk to us. I understand, you guys, I saw that name in the top 10 list. I saw one of you guys up there. Talk to us a little bit about, Karen, about being in the top 10 and how many years you've been doing this.
Well, I've been an advocate since we started in 2002, so we started doing the Lights of Hope about 10 years ago, and I have been part of it as far as I think in the top 10 since, I guess, 12. Is that when they started recognizing the amount of money that we were raising? But that said, the main reason, that we really do this is because it is some way to kind of demonstrate the people that have, fallen from this disease. And I kind of said earlier today that I treat the Lights of Hope kind of like setting the table for the holidays. When somebody gives me a hard time about all the time I spend doing these bags, that I spend a lot of time setting up my table for the holidays. And it's important that we do that for the people who have gone through this disease and those that are surviving it.
Yeah, Karen, that's a beautiful example. The Lights of Hope display behind you is beautiful. And yes, just like your, holiday dinner table. So I think you're very competitive, right, to do this each year. But why else are you passionate about Lights of Hope, Karen?
Well, I've been involved with the American Cancer Society for over 35 years. Started out helping to get the Look Good, Feel Better program started through my company and through the National Cosmetology Association. So dealing with as many cancer survivors that I've met over the years, it's one of those reasons why it's important to put these bags out for whether it's Lights of Hope or Relay for Life. And it gives those people an idea, like with my mom who's been gone for several years, I get to see this picture of her every year. And then met Allison a couple years ago who has been through it, and make her little ones for her too.
Yeah, Karen, your mom would be really proud of you. Allison, I know Karen just mentioned it, but talk to us a little bit about what brings you out for Lights of Hope today and a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I've been reflecting the last couple of weeks and more so this week, and it's been 7 years, almost to this exact day, that I was diagnosed with cancer myself. And I received treatment here in St. Louis at the Children's Hospital, and I'm just so fortunate. And ever since then, events like this, Lights of Hope in particular, just shine a light on not only myself, but like Karen said, her mother and all the loved ones we know, the names on these bags that represent so much more. And we get to celebrate their lives. And like I said, it's just a moment to reflect and take a pause. And it lets us kind of renew that hope every year. And just hope for a better tomorrow. And as a community, I love that we can come together and do this and fight for each other.
Oh, so well said, Allison. And we're so happy to hear that you're cancer free and doing well. And like you said, every bag has a story. It's so personal seeing those names. And we have so many loved ones who we've lost, but who also survived. And that's why we have to keep fighting. So thank you, Karen and Allison, for all that you do. We so appreciate you coming to us live from St. Louis. So thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
You too. Bye-bye. Thank you. Be safe. Karen and Allison are examples of why we do what we do, and we have to keep fighting. It's so personal seeing these bags right here. I have them from my aunt, from my father-in-law, from my mom who survived cancer. She's a 22-year cancer survivor. So we have to keep fighting. I don't want my family, my kids to hear those words, you have cancer. So we have to keep fighting. So if you haven't visited our Lights of Hope website, I want to make sure you know you can share your photos, take action, fundraise, donate, dedicate a Lights of Hope right now. Visit fightcancer.org/lights. And when you share your Lights of Hope display on social media, don't forget the hashtag Lights of Hope. We've been sharing your social media posts and they're so beautiful. Everyone's so artistic and so creative. But like Karen and Allison said, all these have a name, they have a story. It's so personal. So we want to see them. Even with tens of thousands of Lights of Hope on display across the country, each one tells a very personal story. So I think you'll really enjoy this next one from Hawaii, from volunteer Yuri Martos.
Aloha, I'm Yuri Martos, State Lead Ambassador for Hawaii and ACS Hawaii Pacific Board Member. Lights of Hope means so much to me because it helps us honor our loved ones who have struggled with cancer, like my mom, son, who is a 20-year cancer survivor. I am so grateful to be able to honor her today as a survivor. Now, because of my family history, it put me at high risk as well. So I am very fortunate that I was able to detect my breast cancer with a mammogram. And I am grateful that I'm here today, striving and thriving because of the access to care that I had and early screening. And this is the reason why I'm an advocate for American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. Our voices are much stronger together when we speak up together, and we really hope that you will help support us and advocate for survivors and those that we've lost as well. And we appreciate you. Aloha and mahalo.
Thank you so much, Yuri, for sharing your story. We are so thankful you and your mom are thriving and surviving. So thank you. It's really been so incredible, exciting to see so many Lights of Hope displays being posted to social media today. We've been saying it. We love your creativity. Keep them coming. You all have put so much into decorating your beautiful bags and all the unique setups across the country. So perhaps no town is more unique than the next one we're going to visit right now. We're heading to Louisiana. Volunteer Kathy Judge is live in New Orleans. Hi, Kathy. I love all the Mardi Gras colors. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, I'm so happy to be able to. Every year, we decorate our bags with New Orleans colors. This year, we decided to do kind of a Mardi Gras theme. Every year, we would get together with my family and with our very good friend, Amber Stevens, to decorate our bags, and always wanted a New Orleans flair. This year, it was very hard for us to decorate the bags, though, because earlier in the year, we lost our friend, Amber Stevens. A lot of you know Amber. She was a very long time CAN volunteer and a fierce advocate for CAN. Decorating the bags this year, though, did give us a chance to remember all of our good times that we've done things like this before.
I'm so sorry, Kathy, to hear about Amber and the loss of her, her passing. She would be so happy, to see your display and doing this in her honor. So thank you so much for, sharing that. Your at-home display is beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear the rain or not, but it's raining here. So we did have to move our location a little bit.
That's okay, because you know what? We've been saying it all day. Cancer advocates, the Mother Nature and the weather does not stop the fierce, passionate dedication of all of you, ACS CAN volunteers and our cancer advocates. So thank you. And I really do think Amber would be so proud. So thank you.
Oh, thank you too.
All right. Stay safe, be healthy, and stay dry. So thank you so much. We can all appreciate that 2020 has been a very challenging and tough year. In fact, a recent ACS CAN study showed nearly half of cancer patients and survivors are facing greater challenges just to pay for their care. But for Mississippi volunteer Betty Sparrow, she wasn't going to let a pandemic stop her from achieving her personal goal of raising money to support ACS CAN's life-saving work.
As a cancer survivor, fundraising for Lights of Hope is important to me. In the past, I have raised several $1,000s. This year, due to the pandemic, most of the avenues I usually use for my fundraising have been canceled. So I had to find another way to be able to donate my funds. So, because I am a sewer and a crafter, I had been making masks for the local hospital and children's home. And so others started asking me for masks. Well, I decided that instead of selling the masks, I would just ask for donations. I was able to donate over $3,000 while helping my community and supporting our work.
That's awesome, Betty. It's that kind of passion and perseverance that reminds us how truly incredible our volunteers are and so very generous. So what an awesome time together this has been. I don't think we can wrap things up without going one last time to the Lincoln Memorial. Lisa, I mean, this has been so incredible and it's so moving. Even though we're not together in person, we feel so close because it's just been so beautiful and emotional to see everyone's displays. Any closing remarks?
Yeah, Desiree, thank you for the last couple of minutes here. First, just an incredible thank you, not just to all the volunteers that have been part of our program today and elected officials, but staff members and the literally thousands of people who have contributed to making this event yet another record-breaking year. As you said, 2020 has been a year unlike any other, but we've shown this incredible unity and an ability to celebrate no matter where we are. I would love to have everyone here in DC, but I'm feeling very proud and just warm with the incredible program that we've just had today. So just a sincere thank you. We will all continue to be so fiercely determined to create a world without cancer. And I kind of feel like we may be getting a little bit closer to that goal after today. So Desiree, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to be with you.
Oh, it's been my honor to be with you, Lisa, and all the incredible CAN volunteers and advocates. They're fierce, like you said, they're dedicated, they're passionate. They give us so much hope and inspiration. So it's just been an amazing time together. So gracias por todo. We did it. We are so thankful. Es un placer estar con ustedes. So we really did take lights of hope across America. We visited coast to coast. We heard inspiring and moving stories. We saw your most beautiful, gorgeous home displays. Weather didn't stop us from coast to coast. So thank you so much for being a part of Lights of Hope. I want to once again encourage everyone to check out the actions they can take at fightcancer.org/lights. And don't forget that Lights of Hope hashtag when posting to social media. And actually, we've heard many of you plan to continue your celebration and light your lights of hope this evening. I'm going to display mine and light them up here in my kitchen here in New Jersey. So make sure you do that. Share them on social media. Share those photos on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook using the hashtag Lights of Hope. I can't think of a better way to close than by sharing some more photos of you, of your home displays, accompanied by the sounds of the bagpipers we all so closely associate with our beloved event, Lights of Hope. Thank you for watching. Gracias for your support of the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network. Adios. Bye, everyone.